everybody. I'm Sherri and this is Jenny, and we are going to teach the new format of our Bone Blast mini class. So it's not going to be any Pilates necessarily or the therapeutic exercises. It's going to be focused all on building bone. So if you don't have time to do a full class, you can really get your bones strong and target the bones of the hip and the spine, and even a little bit of the upper body and wrist. So we're going to select the best exercises for building your bones based on the research from Australia and Lora Giangregorio's research from Canada, and our Clinical Practice Guidelines from the American Physical Therapy Association that are going to be published next month. I was hoping it would be published by today, but it should be any day now that they'll be published, but you'll be the first to know. All right, so we're going to start with our usual hip hinge. So placing the dowel on the back. I've got my spacer here too, so I'm going to talk about that as we warm up. So you'll want to be able to do your hip hinge to touch the floor in between your feet, keeping the 3 points of contact. I've got the little spacer behind my head. If you have a little bit of a forward head posture, you can use a washcloth and wrap it around your dowel. Or if you have scoliosis and a very flat spine, you can put it behind your mid-back and fill up that space a little bit if you feel like your head is getting pushed forward. Okay, so after you've done those 10 hip hinges, then we're gonna do the box. So I'm actually gonna put the dowel against Jenny's back as she lifts the box. I know she's gonna do it perfectly, and she's got about 20 pounds in the box right now. And I want her to use the handles first to lift, just to be sure that the box is not too heavy for her. And she's going to lift that about 2 or 3 times using the handle. Yep, is that feeling okay? Manageable? All right, now go ahead and grab underneath, which is going to make you have to really flex at your hips. So you'll want your knees turned out. You're doing a pretty deep squat to get down there, but this is going to be really functional for picking up things to go all the way to vertical. Yes, that's it. And then at the top, you pinch your shoulder blades together. And wait till you get to the top. When you get to the very top, you kind of really lengthen and draw the shoulder blades back. Yeah, that's good. Exactly. All right, looking good, everybody. Oh, I love the 3 women exercising together. That's awesome. Turn to the side so we can see you, Miss Kelly Mitchell and friends. That's great. The neighborhood's exercising together. Yes, there you go. And then Kelly, you probably can put a little more weight in your box because you're reaching forward to put the box down. So that looks pretty light. And so you'll want to have a box that's so heavy that you can't actually bring your arms forward. So you might put that cat in the box and see how you do with that. The cat jumped into her box this morning. All right, so once you've done 1 set of the box lifts, even if you're lifting with a barbell, I want you to lift the box because it's so functional. And if you get a delivery from Amazon on your front doorstep, or have to move a piece of furniture, or pick up a cat that's in a box, you can do it. All right, so then we're going to use the barbell. And you'll place.
You have a barbell, use your belt again. So you'll do 2 more sets of your box. You don't have a barbell.
Exactly. Stand hinging the hips. Stand all the way up until the bar rests against your thighs. And then once you get to the top, you pinch the shoulder blades together. Yes, looking good. So you'll do 10 of those. If you can make it to 15, then that means that you need to go up on the weight. And there's a really nice way to go up on the weight that we love to do, that we'll do on the second set. So if you feel like, oh yeah, I could do more than 10 of those, that's not too bad. I'm feeling a little bit of muscular fatigue, but not really enough to get to fatigue within 10 reps, and you can add a little weight. Okay, now your relief in between, you can be really productive with that if you want to do a stretch overhead and lengthen through the rib cage. And you can also do a back extension, repeated back extension. If you have disc problems or sciatica, you can always do some back extension. And then Kelly's friend in the gray shirt, can you turn to the side and let me see your hip hinge there? Yeah, because I want to make sure you're not rounding your back when you do your lift. So she's practicing. Yeah, that looks really good. I can see that a lot better. So when you guys lift at home, I'd like to see you from the side so that I can make sure I can see well. So if you have stenosis or maybe spondylolisthesis or a back problem where you shouldn't extend, you can do the reach up if that feels better to you. But you just take about 30 seconds to 1 minute to rest, and then you do your second set or third set. All right, so here is a wrist weight, and it weighs about 1.5 pounds. So you have some that weigh 1 pound and some that weigh 1.5 pounds. And if you want to gradually go up on the weight, this is a really nice way to do it, because most barbells have only 2.5 pound plates at the smallest. So you'd have to go up in 5 pound increments, which might be too much for you. So we add that little wrist weight, and you hardly even know you've added weight. Lifting here, you set your shoulder blades down and back, and then when you get to the top, the bar hits your legs, and then you pull your shoulders back just a little bit more. Not so much that you arch your back, but just a little emphasis on pulling those shoulders back when you get to the top. And that's with lifting the box or with the barbell. When you lift the box should actually rest against your thighs when you stand. That way you know you really got the right weight and the right technique. So it should rest against your legs. You kind of push into it a little bit and stand all the way up. And again, if you can hold it out in front of you, and I think Michelle and Dawn, you could put more weight in your box because you're holding it out in front of you a little bit. And you want to put it right between your feet as you do it. Okay, good. So relief, either backward bending, repeated backward bending, and you're putting your hands on your pelvis, sacrum pressing down and extending back. And then the other way is to do as Jenny's doing there, lengthening up. Great. So I'm trying to give you as much information as possible so you can do this effectively and safely, because if you don't lift enough weight or you do too many reps, if you can do 20 reps of something, it's going to be too light to affect your bones. So you want to challenge yourself to the right amount without overdoing it. So if you can't make it to 8, you want to go down on the weight, right? So you can remember that. Can't make it to 8, go down on the weight. If you can make it to 12 repetitions or more, it's time to go up, and you can go up in that small increment. All right, so our next exercise is the overhead press. This is something we've configured based on Sue, who's in class today. She recommended this. So I don't have 2 of the same color TheraBands. I have a green and a blue. They need to be kind of similar in tension. So with the TheraBand brand, green and blue are like medium to heavy. Blue is heavy, green is lighter. And so you're going to stand on the bands, and you're going to tighten up the green side a little bit more. So stand maybe over here, and then have your band, so that the bar is probably at your waist. So you'll want to step on it so it's tense at your waist. And then you put your bands down on the floor and step on them. And then you'll want the green band tighter than the blue, and then pressing up overhead. Now, if you feel like you want to warm up a little bit without the band, you can do a little overhead press work, pulling to your chest, and then also pulling behind your head so that you warm your shoulders up and get a little more range of motion. If you can't get the bar behind your shoulders here, you might want to work on shoulder mobility. And that would come from like doing some foam roller work, doing more of this exercise, or standing in a door frame, opening up the shoulders. And then the other suggestion I was making was to use your dumbbells. If you don't have this set up, you can do dumbbells overhead. Yeah, that's perfect, Michelle. That looks great. Nice, Annette. And Linda's got it right. That looks good. And then Maureen's using a barbell. Sophie, that looks great. And then Sue, yep, you got it. That looks good. And all right, after you've done your 10 reps, you're going to reassess to see, was that really easy? Could I go a little bit more on the weight? And you're going to go up a little bit more on the weight. So if you wanted to increase the resistance, you're going to stand closer in on your band, hold the bar down at your thighs, and choke up by standing, on the band so that they're tight. Then that's going to increase the amount of resistance. If you have dumbbells, you just go up on the weight. Roll the shoulders back. Let's do our second set. All right, here we go. Another way to challenge yourself if you're using dumbbells or a barbell is to stand with your feet close together. So that makes your balance a little more challenged. And then if you're really confident with your performance, you can stand with one leg lifted. I always love to do everything on one leg. Yeah, there you go. Good. We'll get in sync here, Jenny. Sorry. All right, awesome. And again, reassessing to see, was that achievable? Could I do more than 10, or do I need to go down on the weight doing less than 10? If I have pain, can I readjust my alignment or maybe go down on the weight? All right, so now next exercise is gonna be our back squat. And this one's a little harder to use the straps with to get much resistance, because as soon as you bend it, they're gonna be loose. So we usually use dumbbells to do that. And you're gonna stand and place the weight more on your back. So normally in a gym, it's done with a barbell. So Maureen, will you stand to the side and show? I'm gonna spotlight you because you're using a barbell. Our barbell has too much weight on it right now. There we go, she's got the barbell. Now get the barbell a little bit lower on your upper back, not on your neck. There you go, just a little bit. Is that okay? Yeah, that looks good. Now turn and face us so they can see what that looks like. Perfect. Great, awesome. Yes, that looks great, Maureen. Thanks for being our demonstrator. Again, you're gonna assess to see how hard was that, and do you need to go up on the weight? All right, so here we go. We're gonna do our second set. All right, barbell, dumbbells, whatever you're using, or even if you're just using the pole behind your back, we're gonna do our second set. 2 sets of everything. We do 3 sets of the deadlift, and we're gonna do 2 sets of everything else. And you try to get your buttocks to the level of your knees. There you go. Yes, looks good. 4 more. As Jenny always counts down, I count up. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. All right, really well done. Okay, now we're gonna keep the dumbbells if you're using dumbbells, or we're gonna use the TheraBand. So let me give Jenny a TheraBand here that's long enough. And she'll stand on the TheraBand to do the heel raises, okay? So I'm gonna use dumbbells and she's gonna use the TheraBand. So you can see the 2 ways to do it. All right, feet close together for the first set. Roll the shoulders down, rise up a couple times, keeping your heels together to remind you what your alignment is. Yes, great. All right, now standing on, yeah, and you can face the other way, that's perfect. And then stand on one leg. Here we go. I'm standing on my left leg. You'll be standing probably on your right leg. Here we go. 1, whoo, I'm losing my balance. 2, 3. I don't have the same level of dumbbells here. 4, 5, it's certainly challenging. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and see if you can do a couple more. Woo, yes, I think this is probably my max here. I don't know what I've got here. I've got an 8 and a 5. All right, so yeah, you don't have to have the same amount of weight on each side. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and see if I can do a little bit more. Probably can go up on the weight. All right, so shake it out a little bit. We're gonna do our second set. If you wanna go up on the weight, you can. See if I have another dumbbell in here. All right, I'm gonna switch them over. Okay, so other side. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can add a bicep curl with it. Yep, it makes it a lot harder. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Oh, she added a bicep curl without the weight. Whoa, Jenny. All right, you got to use the TheraBand in 2 hands. Bend your arms up a little bit more. She's being a little too easy on you. All right, 1, 2, there you go. 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, it does. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, yes, good job. All right, now we're gonna keep the bands and keep the weights if you're ready for that. And if you've not done the lunges before, just use your own body weight. So Kelly and her new friends, Kelly, you can use weight, but your friends might not wanna use weight with this. All right, so let's go onto the mat. And if you wanna stand at the back edge of the mat, step forward about 36 inches and stand onto the front band. Get yourself into a vertical posture. Bend your elbows a little bit like you're doing holding a serving tray. And then we're gonna stretch down and back. and up and forward. So we got our right foot forward, left foot back, both feet straight ahead, railroad track alignment. So first, Kelly, yeah, both legs straight. Linda, that looks good, both legs straight. And Linda, it looks like you might be struggling a little bit. What you can do is get rid of one of the weights, hold it in your hand, and then grab a dowel. That gives you a little bit of balance support if you're new to the exercise. There you go. Okay, now in the last one, we're going to keep that back heel lifted, bend both knees, and slowly descend. Just do halfway at first. Bring your head back, Carolyn, a little bit. There you go. And then touch all the way down if you can. And remember, you have to be able to do 10 times, up to 15 times with no weights before you do weighted lunges. I love the TheraBands because they don't have resistance at the bottom of the movement. That's the hardest. So they give you resistance where you're usually the strongest, which that's why I think the TheraBands are actually the best choice for lunges. And if you have knee pain, we're going to do a different variation for the second set. All right, step together. All right, so the knee pain variation, we're going to do the same leg. Step the right foot forward, left foot back, same leg, same setup. And we're just going to hinge forward. So I'm going to put this dowel down just so I can make sure that your bodies are in the right alignment. And we're going to keep the dowel on the back and hinge. So it's not a bow, it's knee bending forward, but the knee stays pretty much over the foot. It doesn't go way in front of the toe. And you feel a lot of work on your glutes. All right, 3 more like that. 2 more. And 1 more. So I like doing those to get that load on that front glute. Okay, second set on the other side. We're going to do the traditional lunge first, or if you have knee pain, you can do the knee pain variation. All right, let's warm up, stretch and lift. I love this little stretch and this preparation before going for a long walk because it helps you encourage those long strides so you can walk faster and improve your hip mobility. All right, now lift the heel. All right, here we go. And we're going to bend and go halfway down and then take it up. And you can add resistance by doing a little bicep curl with your TheraBand, going all the way down for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, shake it out for a moment. Second set's going to be the single leg bending lunge for knee pain. Usually this is doable for people with knee pain. All right, same long stride, 36-inch stride length. And I'm gonna make sure my back is straight and hinge forward, okay? So, yes, so keep your back leg straight. And then when you get to the very end, it looks more like that. So then you really feel that load on the glute, bend that front knee. And you can pull up on your TheraBand. Yep, that looks great to add resistance. That's better, Carolyn, I like that. Good alignment, Michelle. Christy, I love that abduction you're doing there. That looks great. Yeah, you're working your back quite well like that. So she's doing opening up like that. Yeah, Christy's a Pilates teacher and is bone fit trained. Awesome. Yeah, that looks good. So with a lighter TheraBand, you can do that, but this blue one's pretty heavy for that, I think. Jenny's working hard. All right, very good. Everybody step together. All right, and let's go right on to the mat. We're gonna, because of time, we're gonna skip the dynamic balance, and you'll need your ball. I'll grab for you. You need your massage ball that's firm. If you're sensitive in your back and you're new to the class, you can use a softer ball if you'd like, but you do need a firm ball eventually to get better mobilization of your spine. So you're gonna, yes, and if you have Harrington rods in your back, you could use a pillow. Or you can do some foam roller work, maybe if that's doable for your spine. All right, so you're gonna place your hands behind your head and then elbows wide at first, and your ball is gonna be lower on your back. So you want it to be above your waistline and below your bra line. And then elbows wide on the first one, stretching back. And I'm just gonna take a look since I'm here and Jenny can demonstrate and just see how everybody's doing with this technique. So with the elbows wide, you're stretching your chest. And then Kathleen, if you are managing vertigo, you can take your ball and sit in a chair and put it behind your back. And then do the same concept to see if that feels better. Okay. So if you're not able to lie on your back to do the exercise, you can sit and do it. Yeah, there you go. Great. Hubby came to help. All right, now bring your elbows forward. Keep yourself on the same position on the ball and bring your elbows forward. Keep the spine lengthened and then place the thumbs under your skull and see if your muscles that are attached from your skull to your neck, the suboccipital muscles, are relaxed. They should stay relaxed the whole time. Usually if you lift your head too high and you look behind you and you lift your chin, you'll feel those muscles contract. So you want to keep those muscles relaxed and lengthened. Yeah, Jenny's showing that perfectly with that neck long, stretching way back. Yeah, Sue, that looks good. Nice, Annette, beautiful. So you usually can go a little farther with your elbows forward. You got to get those shoulder blades out of the way. And then that also takes the chest muscles out of the way so you can get more mobility through the spine joints. Okay, now lift your hips up, move your hips forward so the ball gets closer to your head. And then Carolyn, try to keep your hands behind your head so you don't roll forward. Yeah, all you have to do is lift your bottom up. Show that, Jenny. Go ahead and lift your bottom up. Keep your hands behind your head, Carolyn. Don't round forward like that. Yeah, so lift your hips and then you can just roll back and forth on the ball and move your position without ever letting go of your head. So the whole time you're always supporting your head. Yep, there you go. So you're in a mid-back position, like right between your shoulder blades. And then you do another set. And remember, you got to get your elbows forward, not wide, because the chest will limit your range of motion. So bring the elbows forward and then stretch it back. Yeah, Annette, bring your elbows forward. Maureen, elbows forward. There you go. And see if you can go a little further back so you're not limited by your chest muscles. That looks good, Linda. Nice, Sue. Yeah, Michelle, that's it. All right, now lift your hips and we're going to go to the very top of the spine. So right below the neck, not in the nape of your neck yet, but the top of the cervical spine, like T1 to T4. And then you're going to look at the ceiling, lift your hips up. And then you're going to do like a little chin tuck. So like a little Frankenstein move here. We call it the chicken and the swan. So we don't want to be chickens. We want to be swans, right? Yes. And you can keep your hips up or down if that feels better to you. You can get a little more pressure with your hips up. And then you're just really trying to correct that forward head posture, pushing the dowager's hump forward as your head pulls back. And Carolyn, keep your eyes on the ceiling and then just do a chin tuck, pulling your throat back toward the floor. Yes, that's it. And your elbows need to be forward with this so the shoulder blades get out of the way. And you kind of push into the back of your head and push into your hands a little bit. And that will help with correction of forward head posture and rounded upper back. Looks great. Okay, now we're going to roll right off of the ball and we're going to grab the pillow and go onto our stomach and put the pillow so that your pubic bone is off the pillow and your ribs are on the pillow. That's usually the easiest for your performance. It'll assist you a little bit with the motion. All right. And then somebody came unmuted. All right. And then you'll need some dumbbells, probably smaller. You usually start with water bottles and then maybe soup cans and then maybe some heavier dumbbells. So 2 pound, 3 pound, 4 pound, something like that. And you can start with that. If you're not ready to add dumbbells, you can certainly do just body weight for right now, if you're new to the class. So place your hands under your forehead, elbows wide, and try to get your armpits as close to the floor as possible. Draw the shoulders down and back. And yes, keep the neck relaxed and lengthened. Try to get as long as possible before you start. Then you're thinking of pressing a little bit through the sternal notch or the throat. You press that towards the mat to get flatter in that upper back. And then lift your face off your hands, looking at your thumbs. Keep your eyes on your thumbs. And then see if you can lift one hand to your forehead. And then can you lift the other hand to your forehead? And if not, you can keep one hand down the whole time and do the lift. Okay, then take both hands to the forehead, do 3 or 4 like that. And if you feel ready to do that, go ahead and grab either 1 dumbbell or 2, your choice as far as the weight, and it's the same principle. Can we do 10 repetitions with whatever weight we've selected? Yeah, those look great. Your backs are nice and flat. Yes, that's strengthening the upper back, building bone in your spine, drawing the shoulders down so your neck doesn't get involved. Excellent. 2 more like that. Last one. Great. Bring your arms out to a goalpost position off the sides of your mat. Move all this stuff out of the way. All right. And then, so that goalpost position is here, and keep your arms glued to the mat. And then lift your chest as far away from the mat as possible without moving your arms. So glue those arms to the mat. And then once you get there, can you lift your hands and do a little external rotation of your shoulders? Great. Keep your hands higher than your elbows and then lift that whole shape up. Excellent. Yes, that's it. And then your elbows will come off the mat only a couple of inches, and then they'll touch back down. So you always want to keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Try not to use your neck to do the work. Keeping the hands higher than the shoulders. Yeah, you guys look great. Strong women. Yes. Okay, last one. Make sure you've done your 10. And then take it down. Last position. Place the hands under the shoulders. Press the elbows toward the feet, pushing up and keeping the lowest ribs on your pillow. So you're trying to think of pressing your breastbone forward, looking at the front of your mat or maybe the baseboard across the room, keeping your neck long. Okay, then see if you can lift your hands off the floor and then lower the whole shape up and down. Do a couple like that, kind of testing the waters, then add your dumbbells. So add the dumbbells, same position, elbows low, hands high. Sometimes I rest my dumbbells, or not rest them, but put them against my shoulders so that I have my hands in the right position. Yeah, so your dumbbells are parallel to your collarbone, and then hands are palm down. Yeah, that's right, Michelle. There you go. And then you think of keeping the dumbbells kind of like this against your shoulders. Yeah, you got it, Jenny. Like that, up and down. So they're kind of touching the shoulders. It makes the hands stay in the right position, and it keeps you out of your neck. Great. 2 more like that. Excellent. All right, now push up onto your hands, up into all fours, and then stretch back, hips to your heels, elongating your spine. Awesome. And then sit all the way back with your knees apart, and then keeping the length here, and then knees apart, and then sit all the way back. So once you go all the way back to your heels, you need to widen your knees so that you don't round your low back too much. Yeah, and then get that length. Awesome. All right, everybody come up to sitting. And either sit in a cross-legged position, see what you decide to choose, right? And so I'll sit in a cross-legged position, and I might want to prop myself up if I feel like I can't be vertical. So Jenny's in that parallel alignment, which is also my preferred way. but if you prefer to sit cross-legged, you certainly can do that. All right, we're going to keep our spine in a vertical posture. Check in with our low back to make sure our low back is relaxed in this position. Rib cage stacked over the pelvis, ears stacked over the shoulders, throat pulling back a little bit. And then you just feel that sense of length in the spine, but you're not aware of any muscles that are holding you up. If you feel like your hip flexors are gripping, get yourself up higher onto a yoga block or a pillow. All right, let's close our eyes. And just feel the breath slow down. Feel your rib cage expand 3-dimensionally. And allow the heart rate to slow. And then shift the breathing to more of a belly breath. That's going to be more relaxing to the nervous system. And then see if you can keep the length through your spine as you expand into the belly. Let the shoulders slide away from the ears. And let's repeat in our minds, I am happy, I am well, I am strong. Let's visualize all of our family and friends being happy, being well, and being strong. And let's visualize all people on the planet, all beings on the planet, being happy and being well, being strong. And let's wrap the earth in a blanket of peace. Dedicate our practice to those in need, sending a message of healing to anyone you know that needs healing. Feel the sense of relief and joy that brings to your heart. Return your awareness to the room. A big smile on your face, a big smile on your collarbones, a big smile across your pelvis. Patting yourself on the back for a job well done. So thanks for joining us today. Yeah. Super fun. Hope you enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, please let us know. All right, you guys, see you later. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.